So when you first open Word, you're greeted with a kind of page which shows you your most recent documents that you've opened, but it also shows you some useful templates at the top. If I click more templates, you'll be able to see all sorts of different templates. It is worth exploring these at some point. There are some really good ones in there, and you've got ones sorted by different topics up here, if you like, different categories, but you can also search for other ones online and find some templates which are very easy to edit, and you can make very professional documents just from using those to start with. But for now, I'm going to just go back and start a blank document. So when I enter Word, I've got the usual tabs across the top that I do in all my other Office products, and again within each of those tabs I've got the ribbon underneath, and within the ribbon I've got different groups, and within certain groups there is also a launch button which opens up further options within that. The good thing is though is that sometimes what people struggle with is finding where the thing is that they want. Okay, so let's say I want to change the margins. Okay, well, I know that's actually in layout margins, but if I couldn't find that, then you can always use this search button here. It's very helpful. You just start typing in margins and straight away it's giving me that option and I can do it straight from here. Okay, so if you start off, if you're thinking about something that you want to do, just try typing it in this top bar here, and you'll hopefully be able to get straight to the feature that you want without having to search around. The first thing you want to do is probably get your page orientation correct, and that's in the layout option. Okay, and you can do portrait or landscape depending on what kind of document you're making. You can also change the size here, and again think about those margins, how much space you want for the borders around the page. I like to make sure I can see the whole of the document, or at least the width of the document on my page, on my screen, but sometimes you might want to zoom in a bit further or come out and see what it looks like, the whole page, and you can do that on this little zoom bar in the bottom right corner. You'll also find down here the language that you're working in, and also the word count, which is very helpful very quickly down here. If I click on that, I'm going to get my full information on my word count. Okay, so here's an essay, just to point out a few quick formatting things. Now if I want to select a word, I just double click on it. So I want to select deoxyribonucleic there, double click on it, and when I double click on it I get this very helpful quick formatting box pop up where I can change the font, I can change the colours, the size, very quickly I can do that very helpfully. It's all the same information that's at the top here, but it's just great that it pops up right next to the word that it is that you've selected. If I want to select a whole paragraph, I just triple click and it gives me that whole paragraph, and I can do the same thing there. I can select a style here if I want to change the pre-formatted to a pre-formatted style. If I want to add some bullet points in, then that's quite easy. That's all up here in the paragraph. So I just click the bullet point button, type and press return. If I want to change that to sort of a sub level, then I select it and I use the increase indent and it will do that as a sub level, or I can go back. So these buttons are very helpful to move the sort of level of bullet up or down. If I want to change it to numbering, then I select them and I choose the numbering option, and if I click the little drop down arrow next to it, I've got more options available as to what those look like. And if I make a mistake at any point, I can go back on here. The undo button and the redo buttons are very helpful, so just never worry about doing something, because you can always just undo it very easily using those buttons. There's also some other good quick access buttons up here, and you can edit what is shown in the quick access toolbar by that little drop down button there, and then just turning things on if you want them added up there. If I want to add a hyperlink in to a website, for example, then I can get that website address, and I could, if I want to paste that website address in, it automatically knows it is a website, so it's giving me that as a link. Maybe there's a word already existing that I want to turn into a link. If I select it and right click on it, then I get the link button, and I click on that and I can say, right, the address I want that to go to is there, and I wanted to keep saying that word, and now that word has become a hyperlink to that web address. So you don't have to have ugly long links in there. You can change those by editing the hyperlink and choosing what text to display.